The incident dates back to the early part of 1998. At that time, Rafi's father was working at an NGO and lived in a rented house. The house was surrounded by walls, but the roof was made of tin sheets. After moving there, they developed a very good relationship with another family. That family was financially very poor. There were two siblings in that family, Shahzada and Parul. Parul would occasionally come and help Rafi's mother with various household tasks. She would do small handiwork, which was quite helpful. At that time, Rafi was still very young. Parul also helped him with different things. For example, Rafi couldn't bathe properly on his own, so she would help bathe him and dry his body. In the beginning, everything was going on normally. One afternoon, Rafi was taken to the water point at one side of the house yard to be bathed. Water was being pumped by pressing against the wall, and it was falling into a bucket. Then, using a mug, water was poured over Rafi to bathe him. After a while, suddenly Parul looked up toward the roof of the house. After looking, she started laughing in a strange way. All of a sudden, she seemed absent-minded and kept laughing like that. Rafi noticed this and asked, "What are you looking at? Why are you laughing?" Then Parul said, Look, what a huge python on the roof." This was also heard by Rafi's mother, who was sitting on the veranda. She said, "What are you saying in broad daylight? A python on the roof?" Parul again said, "Yes, don't you see? There is a huge python on the roof." After hearing this, Rafi's mother came down from the veranda into the yard and looked toward the roof to see if there really was a snake. But seeing nothing, she became annoyed and said to Parul, "You are bathing Rafi and talking about a python to scare him. He's just a child. Won't he get frightened?" Parul still said, "No, there really is a snake. I can see it." Without replying further, she became irritated and went back up to the veranda. She thought it was just a joke. At that time, no one else saw any snake. Only Parul seemed to have seen it. A few days later, another terrifying incident took place. In the afternoon, some boys from the village were playing in a field. On one side of the field, there was a place like a jungle, and on the other side, there was farmland. Just before evening, suddenly everyone saw a huge, terrifying python rising from one side of the field and moving toward the jungle. Seeing such a sight, everyone became terrified and started screaming. No one had the courage to go near the snake. Even the elders began running in fear. All around, people shouted, "Snake! Snake!" The snake was slowly moving toward the jungle. At that moment, suddenly Parul appeared there. She broke a strong branch from a nearby medium-sized tree. She tore off the leaves from the branch and sharpened the front part a bit. Then she walked straight toward the snake. Going close, she struck the snake on its belly with the branch. As soon as she hit it, something even more horrifying happened. In an instant, millions of baby snakes started writhing and spreading all over the field. Panic spread everywhere. Even near the feet of those who were standing far away, the baby snakes began to appear. Not only in the field, but they also spread into the nearby crop fields. It was as if the whole place was filled with snakes. People could not understand where to go. Then suddenly, it was seen that the snake was no longer there. The baby snakes were also nowhere to be seen. Everything seemed to disappear in a single moment, and Parul left the place normally, as if nothing had happened. When this incident happened, chaos broke out all around. Everyone had seen it. People of all ages, young and old, became terrified after witnessing such a horrifying scene with their own eyes. What did we just see? Such a huge and terrifying python. How could it come to this village? It's not supposed to be here. While everyone was discussing this, they also talked about something else. Parul was known to be very timid by nature. She would get scared even at small insects and could hardly kill one. How did she manage to move toward that snake when everyone else was running in fear? How did she go so close without hesitation and strike the snake on its belly? How was that even possible? At that time, people started wondering whether Parul was somehow influenced by a jinn. Everyone discussed it, but the matter remained only within conversations. After a few days, noticeable changes began to appear in Parul. Earlier, such changes were not visible, but now they started to show. She would remain absent-minded most of the time. She hardly spoke to anyone. She would sit quietly in one place and keep staring at the sky. This went on like that. Then more problems started to appear. Suddenly, she would go missing at times. In the morning, she could not be found anywhere. No one knew where she had gone or what had happened. Then, by evening, she would return. When asked where she had been, she would say, "No, I didn't go anywhere. I've been around here since morning." Nothing could be learned from her about what had really happened. Since her family was extremely poor, it was beyond their means to run to religious healers or practitioners, as it would cost money. They kept thinking that things might get better on their own and were waiting for that. At this point, Rafi's family took an important step. When they saw her condition, they decided to take action. They spoke with her parents. Then her elder brother, Shahzada, was told to arrange something quickly. After that, a local exorcist was brought from a nearby village. It was said that he was very skilled in dealing with jinn and spirits. He examined Parul carefully. After observing her, he tried to perform some procedures in his own way, but it is said that he could not understand anything clearly. He then said that he would come back after 2 days and, in the meantime, try to gather some information before proceeding. 2 days later, he returned. As soon as he arrived, he told Shahzada, "Go right now and bring some soil from the grave of someone who was buried a day or 2 ago. Also bring a clean bottle. The mouth of the bottle must be tightly sealed with a proper cap. If there is no cap, that's fine. I have a stopper and I will prepare it myself for the work." After that, Parul was made to sit within a marked boundary, and the exorcist began his ritual. While performing it, he had a broom in his hand. He slowly started touching Parul's body with the broom. At that moment, a strange incident occurred, one that many villagers witnessed. Whenever the exorcist touched her body with the broom, it seemed as if her body was slowly starting to swell. Just like what happens when air is pumped into a balloon, or when we fill air into a deflated ball and it slowly starts to expand, it seemed as if Parul's body was swelling in the same way. She had been a very thin, fair, and gentle-looking girl. Suddenly, she was swelling like this. Seeing this, many people became terrified. They feared what was happening. What if something even more dangerous occurred as her body kept swelling? The healer reassured everyone, saying there was nothing to fear and that they should stay calm and watch what happens. He continued his work, trying in many ways, but the jinn did not appear. He kept trying, and at one point it seemed like he was about to give up. Suddenly, the jinn manifested inside Parul's body. As soon as it appeared, she began groaning. This was witnessed by many, including Rafi. When the healer questioned her, that is, the jinn inside her, asking, "Who are you? Why have you come to this girl?" The jinn did not give a clear answer. It only said, "I like her. I will marry her. I will take her with me." The healer then warned, "Do not say that again. Will you leave, or should I take other measures?" The jinn replied, "I will not leave." Then the healer said, "I will not ask you again. Now I will do what I must." Then he took the bottle and handed it to Shahzada, saying, "Fill this bottle almost completely with water right now, leaving a little space at the top." Shahzada filled the bottle with water from a nearby source and brought it back. After that, following a special method, the healer pressed the top part of Parul's head close to the mouth of the bottle and commanded, "Enter this immediately." From inside her body, the jinn responded, "I cannot fit into such a small space." The healer said, "You must enter this. Go in right now, or I will burn you completely." Then, in front of everyone, a strange event occurred, something many villagers witnessed, including Rafi. Suddenly, Parul collapsed and became motionless. The healer then sealed the mouth of the bottle with a stopper. Inside the bottle, something unusual could be seen, something like a tadpole moving and swimming in the water. The healer then handed the bottle to Shahzada and said, "Go immediately to the nearby river. You must go to the deeper part. Not so deep that you cannot return, but deep enough. Take people with you, go by boat, dive down, and bury this bottle in the riverbed. Then come back up quickly. There will be no problem." Shahzada immediately took the bottle and went to the nearby river. Reaching there, he took a boat to the deeper section of the river. Although the river was not extremely deep, they went to the part considered relatively deeper. Then he dived into the water with the bottle. Within a short time, he reached the bottom and buried the bottle in the soil there. After that, he quickly came back up. After this, everything returned to normal. Once the jinn had entered the bottle, Parul's body also gradually returned to its normal state. Within about 5 to 10 minutes, she became completely normal again. The swelling in her body disappeared entirely. From then on, her behavior returned to normal. When she was asked about seeing snakes and other strange things at different times, she said that she did not feel afraid of them. She knew what they were. She also said that the jinn had taken her to its world several times. There, she claimed, there were huge palaces made entirely of gold. Chairs, tables, utensils, everything made of gold. She said the jinn was not bad, rather good, and had often asked her to stay there. But she refused, saying she had her parents and brother, and that she preferred her simple village life. After that, she would be brought back again. And in this way, everything continued until finally, the jinn was captured and confined. After that, several years passed. Parul remained completely normal, and everything was going well. In that village, there was an abandoned building, an old structure where no one lived. Inside that building, there was a pomelo tree. The fruit from that tree was said to be very sweet and delicious. Many people would go there to collect the ripe pomelos. Even Rafi himself had eaten fruit from that tree. Among those who went there were Parul and Shahzada as well. It is said that the jinn living in that tree had followed Parul from there. After that, these events began to happen. Several years later, a young man from that same village, named Sohel, who was around 18 to 20 years old at the time, was found unconscious under that pomelo tree. Others who had gone there to collect fruit found him in that condition. They carried him home. After that incident, he began to suffer from episodes of fainting. He would lose consciousness from time to time. People started wondering what was wrong, why he was fainting like this. He had never had such problems before. It all started after he went under that tree. So, the same healer who had treated Parul was called again. When the healer began his ritual, a fairy-like entity possessed Sohel. It said that it lived in that pomelo tree. It also revealed that the jinn who had previously possessed Parul was its brother. Since her brother had been captured, she had taken hold of Sohel to seek revenge. She said that just as the jinn had followed Parul before, now she had followed Sohel. As an act of revenge, she intended to kill him. The healer did not delay this time. Without asking whether it would leave or negotiating anything, he followed the same method he had used before. Just as he had trapped the jinn from Parul's body, he used the same technique and sealed this entity inside a bottle as well. Once again, he gave the responsibility to Shahzada, since he had done it before and had experience. Shahzada took the bottle and buried it underground in the same place as before. After that, Sohel also returned completely to normal. A few years ago, when Rafi visited the village again, they met Parul. She is now doing very well by the grace of God. She is the mother of 3 children, and she has not faced any such problems again. As for Sohel, Rafi could not confirm where he is now. Perhaps he moved to another village or went somewhere else for work. His current whereabouts are unknown. And that was the incident.